Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Taking on the might of our quiz Goliaths today are the Commitments from Northampton. Now, this friends and family team quiz together every Thursday at the Sun pub in Hardingston. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm an IT project manager.
Hi, I'm Gary, and I'm a payments controller.
Hi, I'm Jess, and I'm a retail manager.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm a student voice coordinator.
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm an IT manager.
Nick and team, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you. Now, friends and family is always interesting. We try and guess who's related to whom. Nick, can you help us?
Yes, we've got my son Gary, started the team with his friend Jess about 3 years ago, and we've just pulled in various relatives. Got my nephew Paul and my friend
Hi, Paul.
Peter.
Oh, Peter, so you two guys on the end are both IT.
Yeah,
You met through the world of information technology.
we did.
And that's your main profession?
It is, yeah.
We wish you well, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challenging team. If they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. That's the formalities over with. I can tell you the Eggheads are storming it at the moment, which is good and bad. Good news is the jackpot is £16,000 because they won the last 15. Shall we try?
Yes.
OK, we're going to try and beat them now. The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of film and TV. So one of you, please, against either Beth, Steve, Barry, Pat or Lisa.
I believe it's you.
Jessica?
That'll be me.
Yeah.
Jess, all right, retail manager, who looks as if they don't see many films or much TV.
Maybe Beth.
Beth?
Yeah.
Beth?
OK, so Jess from the Commitments. You're on the... You do a bit of streaming and stuff, don't you?
Quite a lot of streaming.
I think so. She's good on her box sets. Beth from the Eggheads, taking each other on. Please go to our question room now. The team name, Jess, the Commitments. We love it. Why is your team called that?
It's based off of the film, and also at the time we were just extremely committed to winning a quiz, hence the name.
OK, Jess, here we go. This is the first moment. We're playing for £16,000. Would you like to go first or second?
I will go second, please.
OK, so we start with Beth. Trevor McDonald became famous on television for presenting which type of programmes? News, gardening or music?
He is an amazing newsreader.
News is correct. Over to you we go, Jess. Which British monarch is portrayed by Claire Foy in the TV drama series The Crown? Elizabeth II, Lady Jane Grey or Elizabeth I?
That would be Elizabeth II.
It is indeed. Have you seen it?
No, but I've been told about it, and apparently it's amazing.
It is. We've watched. You've seen it, Beth, yeah?
I've seen it twice, I think, the whole series.
Well,
It's amazing. It's really stunning.
OK, Beth, your question. Boris Karloff achieved fame in 1931 after playing a monstrous character in which film? The Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon or Frankenstein?
I think he portrayed what we now see as the typical Frankenstein, with a big head and bolts out of his neck. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is right. OK, Jess, to catch up. In which year did the 70th Academy Awards take place when Helena Bonham Carter, Judi Dench, Julie Christie and Kate Winslet were all nominated for Best Actress? 1988, 1993 or 1998?
Ooh. I'm going to go for 1998.
Yes, 1998's right. Well done. Beth, your question. Which of these French film directors was a leading figure in the French New Wave or Nouvelle Vague? Is it Michel Hazanavicius, Claude Chabrol or Patrice Lecomte?
Michel Hazanavicius was the director of The Artist, so it wasn't him. I've heard of Claude Chabrol, so I'll go for him, Claude Chabrol.
Let's check with the Eggheads here. Who is it?
I would have gone Chabrol.
I think it's Chabrol.
They like Chabrol, and you're right, Beth. Well done. Now, perched we are, Jess. On the edge. You must get this right. Which of these television drama series of the 1970s took its theme tune from a ballet by Khachaturian? Colditz, The Duchess of Duke Street, or The Oneida Line?
I'm going to go for the Duchess of Duke Street.
Beth, do you know this?
I think, or as it's known in my house, the Wandin line, the Anedin line.
Yeah, it is the Anedin line. Well done, Beth. But sorry, Jess, you got it wrong. And that means Beth is through to the final round. And as a result, Jess will not be able to help her team in the final. But the commitments are just starting out here. They can turn it around, no problem. Return to us, please, and we'll play on. A little mention of Frankenstein, Boris Karloff. And you did what I do, Beth, which is to say as if the Frankenstein was the monster. But of course, it was the inventor, wasn't it?
Yes, he was the inventor.
So as it stands, the commitments have lost one brain from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any so far. They are in good form. So Nick and team, I don't know if we need a change of strategy, but we need to really throw ourselves at them now.
OK.
It's music. Now, who would like this?
Peter.
Pete?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
me. It'll be me, thank you.
Our IT manager. Take on anyone but Beth.
Not Beth.
Steve.
Sure, we have one down,
Steve?
yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, Steve, please, Jeremy.
Yep, Steve, you like your music, don't you?
I do.
Bit of rock and roll?
Bit of everything.
Peter from the Commitments versus Steve from the Eggheads. Is this the turning point for our challengers? Please take your positions now. So music, Peter, would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
Good luck. Which of these musicians became famous as a pianist? Jamie Cullum, Nigel Kennedy, or Eric Clapton?
Well, I think Nigel Kennedy was a violinist. Eric Clapton was a guitar, so I'm going to go with Jamie Cullum.
Jamie Cullum's quite right.
Thank you.
OK, Steve. To the left, 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 to the left are lyrics from which artist's 2006 hit song, Irreplaceable? Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson, or Madonna?
Makes you wonder how they thought them up. Irreplaceable. I'm not placing the song, but I would have thought it was Beyonce, so that's my answer.
It is Beyonce. Well done. One each. Back to you, Peter. The music programme Top of the Pops was originally made in which city? Birmingham, Manchester, or Sheffield?
Oh, well, I don't know this one. I remember watching it many years ago. I'm going to go with Manchester, Jeremy.
Famous for its music, you're quite right. Manchester it is. OK, Steve. Julian Casablancas and Albert Hammond Jr. were founder members of which band? The Strokes, Kaiser Chiefs, or the White Stripes?
That's the Strokes, Jeremy.
Yes, it is the Strokes. OK, two each. Back to you. Peter, challenger. What sort of musical instrument is the doob, as invented by the former professional footballer Dion Dublin? Stringed, brass, or percussion?
The do. Could you spell that, Jeremy?
Yeah, D-U-B-E.
Oh, I've no idea. Dion Dublin invented it.
Amazing question.
It's going to have to be a complete guess, I'm afraid, Jeremy. I've got no idea, and I'm going to go straight down the middle with brass. Complete guess.
Yeah, I would be guessing too. It's not brass, it's percussion. So he hits something. Anyone on the challenger's side heard of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big square thing you bash on each side. Yeah.
Right, like a drum almost. Yeah. Amazing. OK, Steve, you can take the round with this. Which fellow composer commented on Stravinsky's The Rake's Progress by saying, "I liked the opera very much, everything but the music"? Was it Aaron Copland, Benjamin Britten, or Edward Elgar?
Not heard this quote. I'm thinking it's, could be completely wrong here. I'm thinking it's around the 50s, so on the basis of that, I'll rule Elgar out. It's quite a catty thing to say, so I'd probably risk Benjamin Britten for that one, but I'm not sure at all.
Eggheads, do we like that?
I don't think so.
Not sure.
No.
I don't know.
I thought Benjamin Britten was quite a serious fellow.
Steve, you got it right, actually.
Oh.
Benjamin Britten it is. Your one brain has beaten those four over there, your colleagues. Struggling a bit. But you've won the round. Steve, you're through to the final. And Peter, sorry you were beaten by our Egghead. Please return to us, gentlemen, and we'll play round 3. So as it stands, the Commitments have lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any. The next subject is arts and books. OK, Commitments, who would like this?
Wasn't this the one that we had left over at the end?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was never part of the plan.
Paul or Gary then.
Any
Toss up,
volunteers?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah. Sacrificial
does.
lamb.
Gary,
Yeah.
OK, our payments controller from Northampton. And you can take on Barry, Pat or Lisa, so any of the three on the right here.
We'll go for a bit of Barry, if that's all right. Yeah.
Barry, yeah.
Yeah, he has his up days and his down days.
Yeah.
There's no pattern. A bit like chaos theory, Barry, isn't it? So Gary from the Commitments and Barry from the Eggheads. That's almost a poem. Please go to the question room now. Gary, you did an English degree, is that right?
That is right.
Therefore, arts and books is a good subject.
It's normally expected of English graduates that they know every author and every book going, but yeah, simply not the case here.
Gary, would you like to go first or second?
Yeah, I'd go first, please.
OK, good luck. Here we go, Gary. Which of Roger Hargreaves' original Mr. Men from 1971 is depicted wrapped in bandages? Don't know if this came up in your English language degree. Mr. Sneeze, Mr. Greedy or Mr. Bump?
See, now, funnily enough, I actually did a bit of an analysis on one of the Mr. Men books while I was there. It happened to be Mr. Mischief, and it was about child language development, so I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Bump.
It is Mr. Bump, well done. So you did do some Mr. Men as part of it.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Men I know, yeah.
Right, Barry. What does the B stand for in the abbreviation YBA that was applied in the 1990s to artists such as Gavin Turk, Sarah Lucas and Tracy Emin? YBA. Body, British, beauty.
Well, YBA stood for Young British Artist, so the answer's British.
British is right. Gary, your second question. The 1935 painting The Flower Carrier, or Cargador de Flores, is one of the most famous works of which artist? Juan Miró, Diego Rivera, or Salvador Dali?
Okay. So on the basis that I don't think it's Dali, we'll go for Diego Rivera.
You got it right, actually. Diego Rivera, who's the least well-known of the three, but he is the answer. Well done. Barry, in which of these paintings does the artist himself appear? Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez, American Gothic by Grant Wood, or Autumn Rhythm by Jackson Pollock?
Well, the artist would never appear in a Jackson Pollock painting because he's commonly known as Jack the Dripper and his paintings are just swirls of lines. American Gothic by Grant Wood features a guy with a pitchfork and his wife, so I'd go for Las Meninas.
Quite right. Well done. Las Meninas. OK, 2-2. Your third question, Gary. Which French author created the secret agent Hubert Bonisseur de la Bath, codenamed OSS 117 in 1949, for the first of more than 80 novels? Was it Serge Brussolo, Guy Damon, or Jean Bruce?
It's an author I'm not familiar of. It's characters I'm not familiar of. You know, Serge Brussolo. Why not?
You're going Serge. OK, Barry, do you know this?
I'm afraid I haven't a clue on this one.
It's hard. Jean Bruce. Barry, you can take the round with this. Which medieval author wrote the unfinished poem The Legend of Good Women, extolling the virtues of women from history? William Langland, Geoffrey Chaucer, or Wace?
Wow, well, I've never heard of the poem. So The Legend of Good Women. Well, if it was Chaucer or Langland, I think I would have heard of it. So on that rather spacious logic, I will go for Wace.
Steve, I think you know this, do you?
I don't know it, but I seem to think I've heard it as being Chaucer.
Geoffrey Chaucer. Barry?
Oh, surprising I'd never heard of it.
There we are, 3 questions each. The scores are level. You've got to go to sudden death. It gets a bit harder. I don't give you alternatives. Your first question. Which fictional character had a period of inactivity said to run from 1891 to 1894, known as the Great Hiatus?
I think this is where the House of Cards comes tumbling down. Yeah, I'm not sure if I could even think of someone from around that era. Absolutely no idea.
All right. You're passing.
Yes.
Teammates?
I'm wondering if it could be Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes is the answer Paul
Right.
has. Sherlock Holmes. Pat?
Well, Conan Doyle killed him off at Reichenbach Falls. And as far as he was concerned, that was the end of the matter. But there was a sustained public appetite for him. And after a time, he brought him back.
Love Sherlock Holmes. All right, Barry. You can take the round with this. Which writer, born in Portsmouth in 1812, went on to own a country home called Gad's Hill Place?
Well, Charles Dickens was born in Portsmouth, so I shall go for him.
Charles Dickens is the right answer. Well done, Barry. You're through. Sorry, Gary.
No problem.
Come back to us. We'll see if the challengers can turn things around. As it stands, the commitments have lost 3 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any, and we've got history now. Who would like this then?
That's Paul. It's going to be me. Yeah.
Okay, Paul, great. Against which Egghead? And it's either Pat or Lisa.
Go for Lisa.
Yeah, I think we'll go for Lisa.
All right. So Paul from the Commitments versus Lisa from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? Good luck against Lisa. Paul, would you like to go first or second on history?
I think I'm going to go first. Let's go for it.
Okay, your first question, and good luck. Arthur Tudor, Prince of Wales, was the son of which English monarch? Henry VII, Edward VI, or George V?
So I think he was Henry VIII's brother. He died young, married Catherine of Aragon, so I think it's Henry VII.
That's nice, sure-footed play. You're absolutely right. Henry VII. Well done. I think he knows some history here, Lisa. Mm-hmm. What is the name of the plantation house in Virginia that was the family home of the first US President, George Washington? Lisa, was it Mount Vernon, Monticello, or Mar-a-Lago?
I think that was Mount Vernon.
Yes, you laughed because Mar-a-Lago's the home of somebody else.
That's Donald Trump's cosy little residence, isn't it?
And Mr. Trump is not one of the US's founding fathers. Mount Vernon is right. Paul, the armed force called the Thing Men were 11th century mercenary soldiers that came mainly from which part of Europe? Now, is this Spain, Switzerland, or Scandinavia?
So I'm not clear on this. When I think of that sort of era and sort of mercenary soldiers, I'm thinking more Scandinavia, just maybe thinking of Vikings. So I think I'm going for Scandinavia.
You're right, Scandinavia is quite right. Playing well. Lisa, the Indo-Pakistani War that broke out in 1971 lasted how long? 13 hours, 13 days, or 13 weeks?
I don't know, let's chuck 13 hours out the window. Have a little think about 13 days and 13 weeks. I can't think of any events to pin it on. I can't think of anything to base it on. Let's just give an answer, Lisa, regroup and move on. 13 days.
13 days is right.
That's a start.
So level. Paul, third question. In the Second World War, what was the name of the operation that supplied fuel from the UK to France following the Normandy landings? Operation Mickey, Operation Pluto, or Operation Goofy?
Well, this is where it's good news that I come from the Isle of Wight, because the pipeline under the ocean, Pluto, goes from the Isle of Wight. So I know it's Operation Pluto.
You're very, very good. Operation Pluto is correct. So, Lisa, to stay in 1596, what caused the failure of the Second Spanish Armada against the English throne? Storm at sea, sickness in the fleet, or defeat in battle?
Funny, I've just been reading about this period. Guess what? Still don't know the answer. Okay. So we will go for a storm at sea.
Yes, storm at sea is right. There we are. We go to sudden death now, Paul, okay? A little bit harder. I don't give you options. In 1671, which king is known to have ridden in a horse race at Newmarket?
Now, the only thing that I'm thinking of here is that Charles II was particularly extravagant, and that sounds like the kind of thing he might do. But I don't know if the dates are quite right for that. But I'm going to go for Charles II.
Charles II's right. Supposedly won a race called the Town Plate. Lisa, to stay in, which organisation was founded by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale in 1966?
No, the name should be ringing bells. The date should be ringing bells. Nothing's ringing a bell. No, I can't think of a plausible answer. So, hands up, pass.
You've passed.
I have.
The answer, Eggheads?
Black Panthers.
Black Panthers.
Ah, yes.
Is the answer. Lisa, you've been knocked out. Well done, Paul, because they've had a very good run, not just in this game, but in ones before, and you have knocked out an Egghead. We'll play the final round next. So this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for our final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So it's Gary, Jess, and Peter from the Commitments. but also Lisa, knocked out from the Eggheads. Please now leave the studio. Nick and Paul, you're playing to win the commitments, £16,000. Beth, Steve, Barry, Pat, you're playing for something that money, I don't think, can buy. It's the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, they're all general knowledge. Gentlemen, you can confer. So, commitments, the question is, are your 2 brains able to take down these 4 powerful ones? Good luck, Nick and Paul. Would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
So here we go. What does the Chinese culinary expression yum cha mean? Is it fried noodles, pork roast, or drink tea?
Cha, it's like charwalla. Tea, maybe? But that's Indian rather than Chinese.
I'm wondering about fried noodles, but I've got no reason to. Okay,
Shall we go with the tea?
Let's go for tea, because I've got no...
Asia still, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Our answer is drink tea.
So the idea of have a cup of cha and all that, yeah.
Possibly.
Well, Barry loves his Chinese food. Barry?
I do, and I often yum cha and I drink tea.
Drink tea is right.
Cool.
So glad you didn't come on that. That's actually harder than it looks, that question. Well done, challengers. Eggheads, in traditional Highland dress, where is the knife called the skean-doo usually worn? In the sporran, down the stocking, or behind the ear?
Down the stocking.
Down the stocking.
Down the stocking?
Definitely, 100%.
It's down the stocking.
Down the stocking is right, not behind the ear. Don't try that at home, okay? Not a good idea. Here we go. Challengers. What name did the BBC give to the new official font first introduced to their website in August 2017? Is it BBC Dimbleby, BBC Clarkson, or BBC Wreath?
Well, I think we can rule out Clarkson, can't
yeah,
we?
Absolutely.
No, what is Wreath? Do you know?
No idea.
No.
I'm tempted to go for Wreath.
Do you think?
I don't know if they name anything after a particular
No.
person, celebrity.
Yeah, let's Wreath him.
BBC Wreath is our answer.
Okay. So you got it right. The missing bit in the puzzle was that Lord Wreath was the first Director General of the BBC. Okay. Here we go, Eggheads. Tamahagane is a fine type of which product made according to Japanese tradition? Steel, plastic, or furniture?
I fancy furniture.
I fancy furniture.
Well, I don't like the look of plastic,
I
really.
can't imagine.
No.
Well, you could imagine it being lacquer, not plastic. Plastic is a bit too modern.
Yeah, no, with a fine type.
Could you spell that, please?
Tamahagane. Tamahagane.
So there are centuries of tradition in steel manufacture and sword making. So that would certainly be a possible. Furniture. They're not quite as big on furniture, are they? Traditional Japanese houses have got tatami mats and screens. They're not that big into furniture. I think plastic sounds very unlikely. So it's just a pick between furniture and steel. I've just a preference for steel.
Thinking like mahogany.
It's hard to think of any Japanese furniture, really. A futon and
I'm
a low chair.
I'm sure they do make things.
Yeah, probably steel then.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go
On
with
balance,
steel.
I think it's our best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're going to go for steel. We don't know the answer, but we think we'll go for steel.
Steel is your answer. If you got this wrong, then you just have to get one question right and you've got £16,000. Steel is the right answer. Eggheads. Okay. That was close. Keep the pressure on them. Which of these names was given to a native UK snake that was identified as a separate species in 2017? Bi-coloured smooth snake, banded viper, or barred grass snake?
Any ideas? Any thoughts?
Vipers doesn't sound like it would be a British snake.
No. Grass snakes. We have grass snakes
We
before.
certainly have grass
A new
snakes.
flavour of grass snake.
Maybe a new type of grass snake, yeah.
Smooth snakes as well, though.
Could be that one too.
So I'm thinking grass snake's a new flavour of grass snake.
In the absence of any other inkling, yeah, I think so.
With no conviction whatsoever, we'll go for the barred grass snake, please.
Barred grass snake. Eggheads?
Yeah.
I think it's right.
You are right. Well done. 3 out of 3. Barred grass snake, playing for £16,000. Challengers, you're doing very, very well. Need to get this one right to save the money, eggs. Broca's area is part of which organ in a human body? Heart, liver, or brain?
It's a brain.
Speech. For speech, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
An area of the brain.
It is an area of the brain. You're right, you made short work of that. Okay, they won't be thrown off that easily. We go to sudden death. Paul and Nick, here we go. The city of Constanta is the largest seaport in which European country?
I don't know. I've got Turkey in my head.
Yeah, but are you just thinking Constantinople?
Possibly.
Because that was my first impression.
But I don't...
I can't think of anything else.
It's sort of Spanish sounding maybe, but I think we know if it's Spain.
We don't have
Possibly.
anything else.
Some Croatia, yeah. What do you think?
Let's go Turkey then.
Yeah.
In the absence of anything else, really.
OK, we're extremely dubious, as you can tell, but we'll have a crack at Turkey.
Let's see if the Eggheads knows. Is that right?
Romania.
Romania.
Romania is the answer.
OK.
Eggheads, you have the initiative now. Get this right, the contest is over. Sudden death, your question. Which famous basketball player who played for the Boston Celtics from 1979 to 1992 was nicknamed the Hick from French Lick?
It sounds like Larry Bird. He's from Indiana.
I know he played. I thought he were earlier though, but if
He did
that's what
play
you
for the
think.
Celtics.
Well, what are the dates? 19...
17 to
79
92.
to 92.
Yeah, 79 to 92.
Well, Celtics is good for Bird.
Yeah.
The dates maybe are good. We've got other people. We've got Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish.
I know we're getting a bit more obscure now, aren't we? He's your best known one.
Well, Larry Bird is easily the best known Celtic player ever.
I just thought he really,
He's a
but
big name.
Yeah.
well, we're not risking it.
Okay,
If you're wrong, go.
I don't see any
Well,
reason
I'm
not
happy
to
to
pick
go
him.
with that.
We'll have
Yeah.
we don't know this, but we're going to go with Larry Bird.
Okay. Indiana has a town in it called French Lick. So you were really on the right track there. Larry Bird is the right answer.
Well done.
We say congratulations, Eggheads. You have won. And they did ferret that one out rather well, didn't they?
Yeah, we
Hope you enjoyed it.
Very much so, yeah.
Good stuff. Well, it's
Give it a
great.
go.
Great to see you quizzing today. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. This winning streak continues. Could we get to 20,000? I wonder. It does mean the challengers don't go home with the 16,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, well done. Looking quite unbeatable. Only lost one today. Amazing. They are the Eggheads. And you're steaming along at the moment, aren't you? Doing really well. If you'd like to work on a question from the Eggheads yourself while you watch at home, Barry, I gather you've got one?
I have indeed. And my question is this. Which two-word term, first used in the 1950s, commonly refers to a non-speaking or minor part in an opera or a stage play?
OK, I'm not even going to guess, because that will spoil it for you anyway. We'll find out the answer at the end of the show. Hoping to get one over on our quiz champions today are the Nia Ninjas from Gloucestershire. Now, this team met through attending weekly Nia dance classes run by the team captain, Jerry. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Jerry, and I'm a black belt Nia teacher.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a sign language interpreter.
Hi, I'm Leslie, and I'm a voluntary worker.
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm a retired teacher.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm a teaching assistant.
So, Nia Ninjas, hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
And Jerry, tell us what Nia is.
Nia is a joyful movement practice, and it's suitable for all abilities. It can include martial arts, healing arts, and dance. And Jeremy, you know the power of dance.
I do. I do know the power of other dancers, yeah. So it's a bit for the body, it's a bit for the spirit, the soul?
It's mind, body, soul, spirit. It's whatever you want it to be, and it's suitable for all types.
Brilliant. And everyone here is from your class, are
Everyone? Yes, they're all my brilliant dancers.
OK, well, if you need to move to the martial arts level with the Eggheads here, you just do that.
Right.
That's what they need. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to our next show. Now, Nia Ninjas, they are fighting hard, these Eggheads. They've won the last 16. so you can win £17,000 today.
Gosh, that'd be
Do you want to crack on?
Yes, please.
The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of arts and books. So one of you, please, against either Kevin, Steve, Barry, Pat or Lisa.
Elizabeth?
It's Elizabeth.
Okay.
OK, Elizabeth, our sign language interpreter, against which egghead whose signs look uninterpretable?
Pat.
Yes, go for
Pat.
Pat.
Okay. Yeah, Pat.
Great stuff. Elizabeth from the Nia Ninjas versus our own ninja over here. Pat, to ensure there's no conferring, please, for the first time, go to our legendary question room. So, Elizabeth, you love to collect fleece from local farmers.
I do.
And what do you do then?
I spin it, Jeremy, and then I dye it using natural dye stuffs.
Oh, great. And then you make it into cloth and all that?
Yeah, I weave it or knit it or sew it or crochet it.
And what, it turns into a jumper or something, or?
Well, if I knit it, it's a sweater, or if
Yeah.
I weave it, it's a piece of cloth, which can then be used to make into something else.
Brilliant. Let's see if you can make a sweater out of Pat Gibson. Arts and books. Do you want to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
Here we go. Good luck. Which of these works of literature was written first, Elizabeth? Animal Farm, The Hobbit, or The Canterbury Tales?
I think the Canterbury Tales.
Yes, that's absolutely right. The Canterbury Tales is right. Pat, your question. The Oompa Loompas appear in which work by Roald Dahl? Matilda, The Twits, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
I think they are numerous little workers in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is correct. Back to you, Elizabeth. What is the title of the poem that begins with these lines? If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. Is it In Flanders Fields by John McCrae, The Soldier by Rupert Brooke, or Gunga Din by Rudyard Kipling?
I don't think it's Gunga Din. I think it's one of the war poems. Oh, golly. In Flanders Fields.
You've gone the wrong way.
Oh.
It's The Soldier.
Oh, well.
By Rupert Brooke.
Yeah.
Anyone, Kevin, any Rupert Brooke facts you can help us with?
Well, he was on his way to the Dardanelles campaign when he died, so he didn't see active service in the sense of battle. He got as far as the Greek islands and septicemia, I think.
Right.
Was what killed him in the end. So it was 1915. So.
Okay, so The Soldier by Rupert Brooke is the answer. Pat, The Seven Deadly Sins and The Four Last Things is a major work usually attributed to which of these artists? Is it Hieronymus Bosch, Paul Cézanne, or Rembrandt van Rijn?
It doesn't sound very much like Paul Cézanne. It could be Rembrandt. He certainly wasn't averse to a biblical theme. It certainly could be Hieronymus Bosch with his triptychs and his Garden of Earthly Delights. I'm a bit torn between the two options, really. I'll go for Bosch with a feeling of foreboding.
No need to be worried. Hieronymus Bosch is right. So, Elizabeth, you need to get this one right.
Yes.
The Turner Prize-winning artist Chris Ofili is famous for using which of these materials in his artwork? Is it elephant dung, tiger earwax, or monkey sweat?
I think I know this, and I think it's elephant dung.
Elephant dung is right. Well done. For the round, Pat. The 1929 play Rope, which was later filmed by Alfred Hitchcock, is a work by which writer? Is it Terence Rattigan, Patrick Hamilton, or John Galsworthy?
I thought John Galsworthy's fame is primarily based on novels, especially the Forsyte saga. But of course, he could have squeezed out a play. Terence Rattigan is certainly a man who specialised in plays with a whole succession of plays, many of which are still performed today. But I don't know about Rope. I've never heard Rattigan linked to Hitchcock in that way. I don't know much about Patrick Hamilton. But because I don't like either of the other two options, I'm going to go for Patrick Hamilton.
It's right, actually. Patrick Hamilton is correct. Well done, Pat. You've taken the round there. Sorry, Elizabeth. Just the one wrong answer knocked you out, and Pat will be in the final. Please return to us, and we'll see what happens in round two. So as it stands, the Nia Ninjas have lost one brain from the final round. The Eggheads are all still there. And the next subject for you is science. Who would like this?
That's me.
OK, Terry, because you're a teacher, right?
Yes.
Science teacher?
I was.
Perfect. Against which Eggheads? And it can't be Pat's.
With some trepidation, Barry.
Terry from Nia Ninjas versus Barry from the Eggheads. Please go to the question room now. So it was science you taught, Terry?
It was, yes, Jeremy.
And obviously there's physics and chemistry and biology, and what was your favourite area?
Physics.
Really? OK.
Yeah.
On science, Terry, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
OK, good luck. Which of these is an alternative name for the marine life forms typically referred to as starfish? Sea spiders, sea stars, or sea pyramids?
Well, not exactly a physics question. I would guess, have to go for the one that I've more instinctively, sea stars.
Sea stars is right, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be, but that's harder than it looks, because it looks as if that's almost a catch question, but it's
Yes.
not. OK, Barry. The alligator is native to North America, and which other continent? Barry, is it Asia, Europe, or Antarctica?
Well, I know large creatures in Antarctica, so we can rule that out straight away. But I do believe there are Chinese versions of the alligator, so I shall go for Asia.
Yes, the Asian alligator is a thing. Asia's right. Back to you, Terry. What name is given to a medical condition in which the lens of the eye becomes progressively opaque, resulting in blurred vision? Contusion, stye, or cataract?
I'm pretty sure this is cataract. Is sadly something many people suffer from.
Cataract is right. OK, Barry, your question to catch up. Which of these is the name of a type of large extinct wolf whose remains have been found in the La Brea tar pits in Southern California? Grim wolf, dire wolf, or calamitous wolf?
Well, I've not seen these remains, but I have been to the La Brea tar pits because they're quite close to Los Angeles. And I do believe we're talking about a dire wolf here.
Dire wolf is right, and I'm trying to think, have I heard of them in
You've
Game of
probably
Thrones?
heard of them in Game of Thrones.
Or was it in Twilight, actually? I can't.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Dire wolf is right. OK, Terry. Here we go. Third question. What do lithophagous animals ingest? Stones, seaweed, or sticks?
Lithophagous, lithophagous.
Lithophagous.
Right, so just going on the word, I would hope it was stones.
Because you're making a connection between litho
Yes.
or litho, as in lithograph, or...
Yes.
Stones is right, well done. Good quizzing by Terry. 3 out of 3, Barry on the edge. Here's your third question to stay in, Barry. The name of the element magnesium is derived from the name of an area. In which country? Barry, is it Mexico, Greece, or Australia?
Ah, that's interesting, because that's not the first country I thought of. I think magnesium comes from Magnesia, and I was fairly certain that Magnesia was in Turkey. But of those 3 options, because I'm thinking it's from Turkey, I will have to go for Greece.
Yes, and you're right, Greece it is. So 3-3 after 3 questions. Nothing to choose between you. Gets a bit harder now, Terry. We go to sudden death.
Right.
So I don't give you alternatives. Which 3-syllable word, starting with C, is the name of the pupal stage of a butterfly?
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis is correct. Barry, the meerkat, recognizable in its upright sentinel posture as it watches for predators, is native to which continent?
Well, it's native to southern Africa. So it's normally found in the Kalahari Desert, so the answer, continent is Africa.
Africa's right. Terry, harp, Mediterranean monk, northern elephant, and hooded are all varieties of which mammal?
The only one, this may be wrong, but I think because of the elephant connect, I think it might be seal. Seal?
Barry's nodding, seal is right.
Oh.
We have a competition here, don't we?
Wow, this is good. I'm really loving this. Okay, Barry, to stay in. The parasitic invertebrate called the cestode, which can grow over 15 meters in length, is also known by which other name starting with T?
Well, the only parasite that I can think of that would be that length would be a tapeworm.
Tapeworm is right. What a thought. Okay, Terry. Which chemical element with the symbol HS is named after a German state?
I should have looked at my periodic table again yesterday. German state.
Yeah.
Moldavian. No.
It sort of probably needs an H somewhere in it.
Yeah.
And actually the state doesn't give you the element directly. Barry, do you know?
Well, the state is Hesse.
Yeah.
But I think the element must be hafnium.
It is Hesse, but it's hassium.
Oh, hassium. Ah.
Hassium. Yeah. Okay, so a chance for Barry to take the round here on sudden death. Barry. NASA's Juno mission, launched in 2011, was designed to explore the origin and evolution of which planet?
Well, if it's a Juno mission, obviously I'll have to go for Jupiter.
Jupiter's the right answer, Barry. Well done. You're in the final round. Sorry, Terry, but you played so well.
Indeed.
Brilliant round. Come back to us, both of you. We'll play round 3. Barry, you got to Jupiter from Juno, and you said it's obvious, and I thought that's because they both begin with J. And then I thought, no, you've done it a different way, have you?
Well, Juno is Jupiter's wife from Roman mythology.
Okay, I knew it wasn't going to be that simple. It's just, it begins J-U, so no, that's not how they answer questions. Okay, Nia Ninjas have lost a couple of brains now. And we don't, presumably, because we're a mindful team, we're not panicking.
No, we're calm and collected.
Okay. Launch yourselves at them now with music. So music is the round. Who wants to do this?
It's me.
Okay, Rachel. Teaching assistant against which egghead? And it can't be Pat or Barry.
Steve? We're going to try Steve.
Steve, feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like a bit of music?
Well, I'm having to at minute. It's all I'm getting picked for.
I think you beat a concert violinist the other day.
Yeah, maybe so, but it were on. What were it on?
A rap question.
Yeah, something like that.
To ensure there's no conferring, please go to the question room now. Good luck again, Steve. Rachel, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please.
Okay, here's your first question. In which year did the Trogs have a UK top 10 hit single with Wild Thing? 1956, 1966, or 1976?
Okay, the Trogs. Well, I was only alive in 1976. So I'm trying to think whether it's before I was born. I'm gonna go 1966.
Now, the reason I know this is that we did a Radio 2 programme on the 50th anniversary of England winning the World Cup. And they said we're going to have some of the bands in the studio who were #1 at the time, and the Trogs were there, so you're absolutely right. 1966. All right, so, Steve, your question. Nothing Compares to You was a UK #1 single for which singer in 1990? Sinead O'Connor, Belinda Carlisle, or Alison Moyet?
Yeah, it's the one with the unforgettable video. It's Sinead O'Connor.
It is Sinead O'Connor, bless her. Rachel, when Britain first at heaven's command arose from out of the azure main, are the opening lines to which patriotic song? God Save the Queen, Rule Britannia, or Land of Hope and Glory?
Okay, well, it's not God Save the Queen. Father of the Three. I think I'm going to go Rule Britannia.
Eggheads, is she right?
Yes.
Yes, you are right. Well done, Rachel.
Okay.
Steve, to catch up. Floria is the first name of which title character from a Puccini opera? Turandot, Madama Butterfly, or Tosca?
Love your pronunciation, Jeremy.
Thank you.
I think that's Tosca.
Tosca is correct. Okay, Rachel. 444 is a 2017 album by which rapper? Jay-Z, Kanye West, or The Weeknd?
My children will be shouting at the telly screen right now, but nothing's coming my way. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's right. Well done, you. They're now cheering at the telly screen. All right, Steve, to stay in. The American soul and gospel singer Mary Clayton famously performed vocals on which Rolling Stones song? I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Gimme Shelter, or Honky Tonk Women?
Well, out of the three, the only one I can place with some sort of gospel backing is Gimme Shelter. So that's got to be my answer.
Yeah, there's a great story around this. Gimme Shelter is the right answer. I think she didn't know even what she was doing. She was called to a studio in the middle of the night, I think, to sing this amazing, very, very high part. Gimme Shelter's right, 3 questions each, 3-3 again. Here we go again, Rachel. Let's see if you can win through on sudden death. Your first question. Which song by Van Morrison begins with these lines? Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came, down in the hollow, playing a new game.
Van Morrison is one of my knowledge base, really. Sorry, Jeremy, I don't know. I can't even guess.
Steve, you know?
It's Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eyed Girl. Steve, you have a chance to take the round now. The cover of which 1969 album by the Beatles depicts the members of the band walking over a zebra crossing?
Yeah, I'm sure my opponent knows this one. It's Abbey Road, Jeremy.
Abbey Road is right. You've taken the round. Sorry, Rachel. But it was a brilliant Jay-Z answer.
Yeah.
Knocked out by our Egghead and therefore not in the final. Come back to us. One more round to play before the final for 17,000. So as it stands, the Nia Ninjas have lost 3 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any. They are, as I say, playing very well, so there's no shame in that. The next subject is politics. Who would like to do politics against them? So Leslie or Jerry?
It's going to be me, Jeremy.
OK, Jerry. So I think it's got to be Kevin or Lisa. So one of the bookends here.
Yeah. Lisa.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Lisa, please, Jeremy.
Yep. Always good company. So Jerry from the Nia Ninjas taking on Lisa from the Eggheads, just trying now to fight back in the final round, the last round before the final. Please take your positions. Will the Nia come in handy now, Jerry?
I hope so, Jeremy. I need it.
So would you like to go first or second on politics?
I'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
OK, here we go. I know it's not your chosen subject, Jerry. In the USA, the Senate and the House of Representatives are located in which building? Is it the Capitol, the White House, or the Pentagon?
The Senate and the House of Representatives.
That's right.
Now then, I want to say the White House, but I'm not sure if it's the Pentagon. I'll go for the Pentagon.
It's no, that is the defense, like the Defense Department.
Yes.
The White House is where the president lives.
Yeah.
The Capitol building, is that right? One with a big dome?
Yes.
The white one. Lisa, which word describes a political system in which power is held by a single individual? Theocracy, gerontocracy, or autocracy?
It would be autocracy, Jeremy.
Autocracy, yeah. Autocracy is right, Lisa, well done. Jerry, back to you. In which year did Diane Abbott first become an MP? Was it 1987, 1997, or 2007?
I'm not too sure about this, but I'm going to go for 1997.
Could easily have been there, but it was actually earlier. She's been there for 3 decades or more. 1987 is the answer. So Lisa can actually take the round with this question. In 2011, Ruth Davidson became the leader of which political party in Scotland? Ruth Davidson, Labour, Conservatives, or SNP?
I'm going to come unstuck here, hang on. It's not the SNP. First thought before it came up was Labour, but let me just sense check that. Yes, the Conservatives had a female leader for a while, and I think in 2017 she stepped down and they were changing over. I think it's Labour. Well, go with it. First thought, Labour.
Oh, you've gone wrong there.
It is the Conservatives. No,
well,
or is it the
Labour
SNP?
I associated with Kezia Dugdale, although she stood
Have
down.
I got them the wrong way round?
Conservatives is the one, yeah.
I've got them the wrong way round. That's awful. I knew it was her and Kezia Dugdale, and I've just got them the wrung way round. That's awful.
So, Jerry, how about that? That worked well. You did whatever you did
well,
there
yes.
with your Nia. You've phased her, but you've got to get this right to stay in. In July 2016, which MP was appointed Secretary of State for exiting the European Union by Theresa May? Was it David Davis, Boris Johnson, or Michael Gove?
Well, it wasn't Boris Johnson. I favour Michael Gove.
He did come into her government, but not in that role. It's David Davis.
Oh, David Davis.
You're right to rule out Boris, but the answer was David Davis. So, Lisa, well done. You're in the final round. And hard times for our challengers, but they can still do it. They definitely can. So return to us, please, and we'll see what happens as you play the final for £17,000. So this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So that's Jerry, Elizabeth, Terry, and Rachel, all from the Nia Ninjas, I'm afraid. Would you please leave the studio? All right, Leslie, you're playing to win the Nia Ninjas £17,000. Good luck. They're all rooting for you back there. Kevin, Steve, Barry, Pat, Lisa, slightly different agenda for you. You're just playing to protect the Eggheads' reputation, which at the moment is really gleaming. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. So, Leslie, the big question is, can you, with your one brain, defeat these 5? It's been done before by solo challengers. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please.
And here we go. Which of these is a term for an airship? Dirigible, charabanc, or bathysphere?
It's a dirigible, Jeremy.
Dirigible is quite right. Eggheads. Edward II was the first English holder of which title? First Lord of the Admiralty, Defender of the Faith, or Prince of Wales?
Prince of Wales? You hear of that? Yeah, he was the first Prince of Wales. The legend goes that his father, Edward I, having conquered Wales, was attempting to curry favour with the people who'd been beaten, basically. And so he said he would give them a prince who spoke no English. And then, of course, he held up the baby. Yeah.
I see. Very good. Prince of Wales is correct. Leslie, back to you. Horatius is a poem by which writer? Lord Macaulay, Alfred Lord Tennyson, or Lord Byron?
Oh dear. This is going to have to be, well, I don't actually know. I don't think it's Lord Macaulay. I'll go with Lord Byron.
It's funny, because I was working at it from a slightly different angle, thinking, I know it's not Tennyson, so is it Byron or Macaulay? And I might have gone for Byron as well, but it isn't, it's Lord Macaulay.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. What do we know about Lord Macaulay? He's definitely the most obscure of the 3 there.
He was best known as a historian, really, and as a prose writer, but he did, I mean, he was a man of letters generally, and so he did turn his hand to poetry as well.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. So, Eggheads, your second question to take the lead. What is the approximate population of the Philippines? 22, 62, 102 million?
It's not 22, is it?
I've just been reading the population. It said 98.
Oh, yeah,
it's got to be.
Yeah, it's the other 2 are too low.
Have the highest one.
Yeah,
Through the 100 million barrier.
The last time I saw it, it was in the 90s, should we say? So I mean, they've gone up again.
Yeah.
So 102, I think.
I think that.
Yeah. We think it's actually the biggest of those, Jeremy. It's a very high population in the Philippines, so we think it's 102 million.
102 million. So somebody's seen a book with 90 or?
I'm sure the last time I saw a population figure for the Philippines, it was around about 90 million or something like that.
Yeah, it's gone up. 102 is correct. You're in the lead, Eggheads, and that means, Leslie, you've got to get this one right. To stay in, here we go. We're playing for £17,000. Leslie, your question. Which team pulled off one of the greatest shocks in the history of rugby union when they came back from 24-10 down to defeat New Zealand in the semi-final of the 1999 World Cup? South Africa, France, or England?
I think it was France.
You've got it right. We live to fight another day, Leslie. Well done. Brilliant answer. France it was. Okay, Eggheads. You can take it with this, Eggheads, otherwise we get a sudden death. Which of these is a comic opera by Sergei Prokofiev? The Thieving Magpie, The Love for 3 Oranges, or The Tales of Hoffmann?
Oranges.
Love for 3 Oranges, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. The one there that's by Prokofiev is The Love for 3 Oranges, Jeremy.
Do you know this, Leslie?
I think they're right.
They've got that horrible certainty.
Yes.
The love for 3 oranges is the right answer. We say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. You only got one wrong there.
Frustrating, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, what was it, the poet Horatio? Yeah, the poem Horatio.
I wouldn't have thought Lord Macaulay at all, because, as Kevin said, he's a historian, so...
Yeah, he mainly wrote prose, but he obviously occasionally used to knock out a poem. Commiserations, Nia Ninjas. Brilliant, brilliant team to see playing this afternoon. Thank you. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and there's no shame in this because they are on an amazing winning streak at the moment. It does mean our challengers don't go home with the £17,000, so I think we should roll that money over to the next show. Eggheads, what about this, eh? Who's ever going to win? Oh, Barry, you asked a question.
Yes, I asked, which two-word term, first used in the 1950s, commonly describes a minor role or non-speaking role in a stage play or an opera?
And I was thinking the word cameo, but that doesn't help. It's not 2 words. So what?
No, if I give you a clue to say you'd find a lot of these roles in plays performed by the Royal Shakespeare Company, would that help?
Go on, tell me.
A spear carrier.
I wouldn't have got that. Oh. Spear carrier. Did you get that at home? Barry's question. Foxy. Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £18,000 will be here for them to play for. Someone's going to win it. Until we play again, goodbye.